Hello, buddy. Welcome. I'm the Strategy Professor, and I just wanted to go over sort of what the schedule is going to be like over the next couple of days. I know there are lots of different major content releases that have come out, and I'm going to try to get through as much of that as I possibly can. Just keep in mind, if you haven't been on the channel for a couple of days, I was really sick on Monday and a lot of Tuesday. And so that really slowed my progress down, not only with covering, and there's a lot of new content this week, not only with covering a lot of the new releases, but also with school. So this is a very busy part. I am a university instructor, and I was conferencing with students all last week, which was extremely busy and slowed down my progress then. And then a bunch of them wanted additional comments on their drafts, which are due this Saturday. So it's just been a super busy week with academia. I was really sick on top of it. And it's a really busy week for League of Legends and Warhammer. So I'm just going to cover sort of what my schedule is going to be. I'm going to get through everything. It's just the schedule is going to be a little weird for about the next day or so. So first up, I did do a rune analysis video, and I'm about to release that right after this video comes out. It might even be released before this video releases, okay? So I've got that. A bunch of people have been asking, what do I think about these new runes? I've got a video for you. It's about 45 minutes. I'll give you some nice depth on that. So I've got you covered there. I also have a video about the first couple of days of Worlds. People have been asking me, do I watch Worlds? What do I think about it? So I have an in-depth video for that as well. That's a couple of, not a couple, it's like 45 minutes to an hour long. I don't remember exactly how long, but it's pretty good analysis there. I think it's closer to 45 minutes. So hopefully that'll be enough to keep you busy over the next couple of hours. I got you covered there. Now, that's only the first 2 days of Worlds. I didn't realize they were doing 4 days in the first week. I thought it was just the first 2 days. So it doesn't cover day 3 and day 4, but it does cover the first couple of days. And some of the same trends that I talk about in the first couple of days continue on to day 3 and day 4. So it's still relevant. And I think probably about once a week, I'm going to do like a Worlds recap and analysis of sort of what's going on and compare it to what I predicted would happen at Worlds and what I predicted the Worlds meta was going to be. In my original predictions a couple of weeks ago when people asked me for that. So we'll kind of follow along and just see how accurate I was, see some of the new surprises I didn't think about, and just what my overall commentary is on the state of Worlds and the state of the game. Okay, and I have a lot of coaching sessions to do as well. I still need to do, I think, like 4 or 5 coaching sessions before the stream tonight because, once again, I've just been really far behind with all this stuff, and it's been a lot of coaching sessions coming through, which is awesome. I love doing the coaching sessions, but really the teaching and the illness threw me back a little bit. So I need to finish those because I can't play on the newest patch or it updates the patch. And if I update the patch, then I can't access the old coaching sessions. And I know people really wanted to have me see these specific games they sent in. And so I don't want to have to make them go get a different game to send me. So I want to make sure that I get all of those done. So I'm probably going to have to delay the stream until around 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. It might even be as late as 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be a delayed start time, but I will also run a little bit later because of that. So I'm going to run from about 12:30 estimated Eastern Standard Time until about 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's going to be a late start. I know that might be a little late for some of you out there. Remember, you can always catch all of my VODs on the channel. So if you don't get to watch it live, you can always watch it, the video afterwards. So sorry about the inconvenience, but that's just the way that the cookies crumbled on this patch, to use a colloquial phrase there. I just fell behind on stuff, and I just need this extra few hours to try to catch up. As far as tomorrow goes, Warhammer 2 is releasing, I think, tonight. It's like around 3 a.m. or something like that, Eastern Standard Time. I did not have early access to that, so I have not seen it. I've been watching some footage on it from some of the early access people, but frankly, it's just, they don't do the kind of stuff that I do, and they don't, like, they aren't serving my needs as a both as a player and as a content creator. No one's showing me the stat cards hardly, like what the new ones are. I did find a couple back then, but people aren't showing me the cost. They're not showing me the stat cards. They're not talking about deeper strategic implications of these different units. They're not showing me the magic cards, so I don't understand like what the costs are for all the spells and the upgrades and the overcasts and how it compares to other spells. Like, nobody's doing the kind of stuff that I do on my channel, which is kind of cool because no one does it like me, but then at the same time, it makes it really hard for me to find that information ahead of time. So what that means is I'm going to have to spend a significant amount of time sitting there, looking around the cards, trying out early game strategies, trying out some different stuff in the campaign to see like what's most effective, what's going to work, so I can give you the best advice to help you play the best that you can. in Warhammer 2. So, in other words, I need to do some research. So I can't just like immediately start playing and start filming and then just boom, it's done right off the bat. I have to be able to do some background research so I can give you good information and good play styles. I don't want to give you something that is weak, right? For lack of a better term. So I want to give you some good, well-researched, well-thought-out strategies, and I want to make sure that I start my campaign off on the right foot. I will start with Skaven. I might try to do Lizardmen fairly early on. We'll see how I do. My number one commitment, though, with Warhammer 2 is I want to make sure I finish the campaigns. Because I know in Warhammer 1, I didn't finish the campaigns, right? It would go for a while, sometimes like 50 turns. But because I was trying to conquer everything on the map, and because of the way that I run my campaign without any exploits or what I would... Cheats is a strong word, but exploits, like I don't abuse the auto-resolve system, I don't assassinate lords, and then attack their armies while their lords are down. You know, I just don't do a lot of these gamey type of things that other content creators might do. And of course I play on Legendary, hardest difficulty. And I deliberately play with a very aggressive play style. It's very risky because I think it makes for a better strategic experience, and I think that it also makes for a better viewing experience. So I don't just sit there and like hole up in my base and just meet like the objectives to beat the game, right? Like I don't just sit there and just, you know, do a by the numbers legendary run in like 70 turns, right? Like I really go and I look for difficult battles. I go out of my way to try to fight difficult battles just for the challenge, just for the fun, for the entertainment of it. So all of this means my campaigns take a little bit longer than usual, and I think provide a better experience than usual. But either way, I'm going to make it a priority to actually finish these campaigns. So I can't do more than 2 at once. I'm going to start off doing 1 and see how it goes. They're about an hour long per episode, so I need to make sure I can do 2 hours per day if I do 2 campaigns, because I need to do 1 episode per day for whichever faction I've devoted myself to, so that everyone can count on it. You're going to get that 1 episode from the Strategy Professor every single day for whichever that campaign is until it's done. And then we'll just keep doing that. We'll eventually get through all the races, all the DLC, all of that. But I think one of my potential shortcomings with my coverage of Warhammer 1 is I try to do too many things. I try to cover like 4 or 5 different factions at once, and then all of the DLC would come out, and then like I would feel like I'd have to start a new campaign with all the new DLC because the old one's outdated, because they come out with DLC so fast in this game that if you don't close out a campaign and they update that particular faction, then it can feel like, you know, it's just an out-of-date campaign at that point. So I'm going to try to close them out before DLC comes out. And I want to make sure that I finish them. So I'm going to start with Skaven and see how it goes. Then I might do Lizardmen after that. If I don't do Lizardmen at the same time, that will probably be my next faction after I finish Skaven. Okay. And as far as patch notes go, I might be able to complete the League patch notes by tomorrow. It's going to be tight, though, because I've got to do the Warhammer stuff, and I still have a lot of student comments. I've kind of pushed off. I've done some comments, but I need to do much, much more. I'm probably looking at least 4 or 5 hours of student comments tomorrow, and probably at least 5 hours of Warhammer, like, practice and footage and coverage and video and stuff like that. So probably looking at 10 hours of Warhammer and student stuff tomorrow. And then, of course, I have the 5-hour League stream. That's 15 hours of stuff. And patch notes typically take somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 or 5 hours to do a patch notes. And I could maybe go on 4 hours of sleep, but it's tough. I'm still recovering from the illness a little bit. Probably not going to get a lot of sleep tonight. So we'll see. I'll do as much as I can. So it's coming. Anything, if you're just wondering, is he going to cover this? Is he going to cover that? The answer is yes. It's just coming. And there's a lot of it. And I'm just trying to get as much as I can in. So I'm just trying to let you know, like, what the schedule is, what's going on. Tomorrow we will start at the normal time of 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the stream, so that'll be back to normal. It's just some of this other stuff might take a little bit longer. This is also a huge patch, so I'm probably going to have to do a separate video for Azir, a separate video for Zen, separate patch notes, separate... a lot of content on this patch notes. And I'm going to try to break it up into smaller, like, 45-minute max videos instead of these 2-hour monsters that are very good and informative, but I think it scares off a lot of new viewers. So, because they don't know that I have the timestamps and the Google Doc and all that stuff. If they just see it, you know, a thumbnail with a 2-hour, they're like, whoa, you know. So I'm trying to do more concise videos. That means I have to do more videos, though. They just are going to be more concise. So That's what I'm working towards. I'm trying to like narrow it down to get to that 30 to 45 minute window, which is still a lot by most standards, but that's really fast by my standards with the amount of analysis that I put into everything. So I'm trying to do slightly faster videos and just chop it up and do more of them, just so it's a bit more palatable for new viewers. Okay, and that's going to be it. So thank you very much. I hope to see you. If you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'm happy to cover it. And thanks. I'll see you next time.